In the next part of this tutorial, I'll be showing you how to upload the file that we were working on into the remote server. So I'm actually going to go to Manage Site. I'm going to choose my website, and you need to actually have hosting information available before you can complete this process. I'm going to click the pencil tool to access the edit tool, and this window should be familiar to you. It's basically where your files are located and what you and the folder, your root folder on your desktop. So the root folder that I'm pointing to for this exercise is going to be Chris's website rather than my own website. However, I am using my login information and my hosting information in order to show you the process of uploading. So this one, if you don't have anything set up, you would need to click the plus sign, and this is what you need to fill out. And I'm actually going to, since I have it, if I highlight it and click on the pencil tool, it'll show you the information that I've already filled out. So the name of the server is basically the name of the website you're working on. So you want to make sure this is reflected accurately. The FTP address is your domain name. You don't need to put www or anything like that in front of the name unless the actual hosting company asks you to do that. The username and password usually is sent to you by your hosting company, and it's usually a default name and password. And generally speaking, once you get those, you're prompted to change it to something more unique and something that you can remember. And the passwords, generally speaking, you need to have uppercase, lowercase, and numbers, and sometimes special characters. So once you have that information, I'm going to go ahead and click test, and everything looks okay. And I'm going to go ahead and go save, and I'm going to go ahead and say done. So from this top right menu, you see there's a document that looks like a page in your files and panels window. You want to click on that document, and basically you get these two panels that open up. This is your local server or your local computer where your root folders are located, and this is your remote server. So we want to make this connection by clicking this plug that looks like a power cord, and these are all the files that I have on my remote server. And these are basically, this is the files in this website, my personal website. So however, if we come back here and you see that if I have an index page and I have a main page, and I also have those same files here, but this is Chris's files and these are my own files. So if I try to copy these over, what's going to happen is going to overwrite my files, and it's going to cause a lot of headache. Basically, all my links will break. So for this, so you want to be sure when you're uploading your files to a remote server, make sure that your when you manage your site, you want to make sure that this is the root folder is pointing to the correct documents or websites. For this one, because I'm going to actually upload his website to my server, the process is going to be a little different. So, but let's say if this was my own personal website, basically all I would have to do, it would be to go to documents, website, and go to my website, which is right here. Say choose, save, okay, and done. So now if I make any kind of changes here, I can simply drag files over and I can, because these two files, the documents are the same. One is internal, one is external. And but for this part, we're going to actually use subdirectories. So anytime you work on clients' projects, you're working on other people's websites, you would do the process a little differently. So I'm going to go ahead and actually move this down so I can show you what you need to do. So you need to make sure you have a folder that contains the website that you're testing. So here I have this folder Chris, and then Chris website, or maybe I can put art 335. So I have art 335, and then I have Chris's website or Anna's website or Arceli's website. They would all be located there. So up here, I'm going to have to do a couple of things. So first of all, again, you're going to make a folder, and you're going to put your entire root folder inside of that folder. And it's usually a good idea to not have Dreamweaver up and running. But in case that happens, you can go back and manage your site, click edit, and again, just point to the correct location of your website. So I'm gonna, this time I'm actually pointing, I'm not pointing inside of the actual Chris's website, I'm pointing to the topmost directory, which is art 335. And it says, okay, the location changed, and I'm gonna recreate the path. So now if I open this up, you see that I have a folder, and I've actually already uploaded it because it was rather large. And you can see it here, but you see, literally I just dragged it, and you see where it says plus, I put it in the root folder. So now if I go to my website, and if I just type in elizanhari.com/Chris website, you'll see that his page opens up. And if you see the path, it's basically his index. First, this is my index page that loaded up, and then Chris's website loaded up with all the pages active. So this is how you connect to the server, and how you create subdirectories. One thing that I want to go over that is really important is that you want to make sure that your files are correctly named. So for example, if I go back here and I see Chris's website index with the lowercase, everything needs to be lowercase. But here I have another document where if I copy this path, and if I just go here, it's not going to load up. And the reason for that is that the I is uppercase. So it's very important to make sure that your files are properly named, because if you don't name them, it basically, the links will break if they're not all lowercase, especially the index page. So this concludes uploading files to remote server and also creating subdirectories.